Please confirm if my screen is visible and if I am audible to everyone. So we'll continue. Please confirm if you are okay. We will continue.
Audible and visible.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, let's. Yeah, we have Python project here. So this is what we are doing in the last session. We are almost okay with this Python. So we can see here. I mean, not Python, modules thing actually. We did a detailed thing on modules. Hmm. Yeah, if you see here, we were talking about this one, I believe, from import, and we had a discussion on from import. So, and we had, I believe, we had a very detailed discussion on that as well about from import. Yeah, sorry. So now, excuse me. Yeah, this one we had already discussed this from maybe you see these examples. This is what we discussed in the last class. We now by now every one of us should be very clear about the two types of imports what we have in Python, right, friends? So that is the regular import. So and then and from import, and both of we have observed very we had discussed this in detail in the last session. How we can use them. Both are used at module level as well as at package level, and we had a discussion on that in the last class. And even at sub package level, not only at package level, they can be used at sub package level as well. But we didn't discuss sub packages. I told that we'll discuss that sub package topic today, and then we'll close this. So this is the concept of sub packages. Nothing. It's a very simple thing. It is not something we really don't know. We are already familiar with it. What is sub package or the purpose of sub packages? Like subfolders, we can say a package within another package or a folder within another folder. Such kind of thing we call it as a sub package. I hope this is clear, friends. Like we have pack one that is outer package. Again, pack two inside that is inner package. Likewise, we have package inside a package or folder inside a folder, and that's what we call a sub package. So it can be there. We can have sub packages to again break down your code into modules. So this is one of the advantage with this modules or packages. If you want to implement this modularization, right? This packaging is one of the most used approach to implement this modularization. So that is again a simple use of sub packages as well, right? So I hope you are clear on this, friends. And then importing is same. Like we have two imports. Either we can go with if it is a sub package, we say that pack one dot pack two dot some module name. If you have one more sub package, pack one dot pack two dot pack three dot module name. Likewise, we should import sub packages. Anyhow, we will quickly do some a few use cases. We will implement few use cases with sub packages so that we get a very detailed idea about these sub packages as well. Other than that, we had very detailed discussion about the types of imports, regular import and from import. All that we had discussed, like how to add modules in packages, how to add objects inside modules. All that is discussed, right? So let us do one thing now. Let us just add a couple of sub packages and see how to work with them. So we have test one here. Inside this, what we are trying to do is a new. Again, let's create one more sub package. So something like text 123 I put just for testing purpose, nothing more than that. Let's add one more sub package and right. So you can see now we have one more sub package here, test 123. And if it is a package, one important thing, remember, this might be useful for any exam. Like if you try to go and attend any Python exams, you can see this init file is automatically added or included in the package. So remember this, friends. So if you want to make it a package, like so the very important thing in Python is adding this init file to the package is very important, friends. I hope this is clear, right? So that is another. I mean, this init file should be included into the folder. Then only we this is officially treated as a package. So that's all. We created one more sub package. If we want, we can add one more inside test 123. Like for example, if you want, you can also add a package like ABC123. So now we have one more package inside ABC12. Sorry, inside test 123. In this way, even you can have a more detailed modularization depends on your necessity, right? So if you are dealing with some international wide data, and if you want to split it according to suppose according to the country or according to state, according to district, you can create a modularization like country and state and district, like that. For each thing we can have a separate package to keep that data of related to different state, different regions, what we can call. Likewise, modularization helps us to break down your code into meaningful chunks. That is important, friends. Chunks means that small pieces or snippets, what we call. So this is, you can see here, how many packages do we have here? These are nested packages, a package inside a package. It is just simple as that. We just need to create a package inside another package, that's all. But how do we invoke this package is something just we need quickly just discuss, that's all. Suppose you add a file inside this, something like Python file here. So you just take it as the test123 something, and you add some data inside just for I mean testing purpose. Okay, something like p of some f1 colon something like some print hi. Okay. And similarly, if you want, you can add few more methods inside this. If you think, if you need something like just adding a mathematical function here, something like f2, and then we are just trying to return what we are doing here, return some a plus b, something like this. Okay. Similarly, if you want, you can add many more like this, friends. You can just leave it like this. So this is the simple module here. Okay. So if you look at this, this is the simple module which is there in the sub package. So which is that at the third level, see we have three levels of sub packages here. Test one is at first level, test 1 to 3 is at second level. ABC 1 to 3 is at third level, and our module is present in the third level here. So if you see here, where is our module? It's there. It's present in the present at third level. Just keep in mind, friends. I hope you are clear on that. So that is the simple idea. Now the point is, how do we invoke this module test 1 to 3 that is there in ABC 1 to 3 package? We cannot directly invoke it if it is I mean nested packages. we'll see that how to import it. Okay, in some other package or within the same thing. How do we do that? So suppose let us try to import this file in another package. Test2. Let us try to import here. So you create for testing purpose, just create another file. Okay. So demo123 I'm creating. You can create any meaningful Python files, but for now, as we are in the learning this thing, let us create demo123 in another package test2. Okay. In some other package test2 here. So now we want to import this particular module. This is test123 here. Right? Let's import this. Let's see how to import this one. Okay. So if I should import this test123, so what is the I'm closing all this. Let's not have too much of clutter here. Remove, sorry, I think I'm running this not needed. Close all tabs. Now just open only the required files we want to test here. Okay, now we have opened it. Now let us, what we do now, friends. Now we want to test the sub packages. So how to import the sub packages is what we are trying to understand here. Right. So for that, it's simple. If we should use this, import this. If we should use test123, we have to import it from the sub package ABC123. That too, it is at what level? It is at third level. So we have to simply say import level 1 dot, that is test123 dot. You can see now. And then sorry, it's not showing. See, test1. When you say test1, immediately it is showing all other members that are present in the test1 package. So we have to start coming from, we have to start from the level 1 package. We have 3 levels here. We have to start from level 1, then come to level 2, then come to level 3. That's how we have to navigate from package to package while importing. I hope you are clear. Test1 dot test123. Okay. So make sure you are importing package, not file. Sometimes you might have a file with same name. Don't get confused. Test123 dot again ABC123. So this is how we should import a package and provide an alias. Alias like what? I'm just giving as TTA. Just a simple alias for this import. Not to have a lengthy import. We are just trying to have simple alias here. Okay. So that's what we are doing here, friends. I hope you are clear. So this is how we should do the import. We should import sub packages, a module from a sub package, friends. I hope you are clear on this. So what do you do right now? Now after this, I am just trying to use use this. I'm trying to, what is that we are doing here? We are trying to import this file. Of course, what should I do? Here we just imported only packages. Along with this, we should also import that module. If you want to use members of this module, just importing package is not going to help us. So import the module as well. Then we can use those all the members from whatever that are there, right, from this module. So what we do right now? So we this is a proper import here, no problem. So we can access this members of this module in this demo. Now we are we can import all those members here. Whatever members that are there in test123, those members we can try to use here in the demo here, friends. So again, how do we try to use it? Something like print. You can use it in different ways. So you can directly access those, not directly. If it is a regular import, right? We have to go with a standard approach like module 1, that package dot package 1 dot package 2 dot some dot dot dot. And then even while you are trying to access each member, you have to invoke them. We have to access these members with the full path, not with the relative path. We cannot use relative path to access them. We have to again say something like this, right? Print of that alias. You can use alias dot like this. So you have to use that module, that import, that package dot module name dot, all that is needed here if you want to invoke members of a module while using a regular import here. I hope you are clear. Excuse me. So similarly, what you have to do, friends? Similarly, you can try to import other members from this module test 1, 2, 3. But only thing, remember, if you are using regular import, we have to use it a full path or absolute path to access members of a module, access members of a module into this demo. So similarly, you can try to invoke other members like this tta.b, and then if you want to, again you have to say that module dot f1. Okay, again module name dot that full path dot f2, something like this. Right, this returns some value. If you want, you can pass it to print or assign that result to some variable. It's up to us. Okay, I'm just directly printing because as this is a simple testing. So this sum is okay. And then maybe if you want, you can put a placeholder and then apply a format method and then directly pass this method call to that. Okay, that would be enough for us. So this is a simple idea. So this is it, friends. So finally, we try to get a clear idea how to use sub packages here, how to import sub packages. This is how we import sub packages. It's not really difficult. What we should do is we have to import to whichever the level you want, and then we should call this module along with the sub package. And this is how we should do it, friends. Okay, how do we do it? Some package 1 dot, package 2 dot, package 3 dot. Again, that module, whichever you want to import. Once we import it, make sure if that import is too lengthy, create some alias for that import so that we can just have a short name while trying to invoke members of this particular module you are importing. So that is one important point to remember. Next, once after we import it, we can access members from that respective module wherever we want and how many ever we want here in this particular file or program. Okay, or otherwise in this module demo 1, 2, 3. Right, similar. This is how we can just play with this sub packages. I hope you are clear. Right, this is the simple idea how we can use import sub packages with regular imports. Suppose if you want to do the same with the from import, how can you can apply same for from import? It's simple. From that what you should do first, choose the package test 1 dot, test 1, 2, 3 dot. Again, what you have to do, abc dot. Maybe you can still just keep it like this, and then you can say import. Which one you want to import? You can see here like this particular package. So once we are clear on sub packages, see, once we are clear on sub pack, this is discussed now. What is sub package? Now we can see here sub package is a package inside a package, and we can modularize our programming by having sub packages. The advantage with sub packages is to have more detailed modularization. Right, we can break down our project into modules even with sub packages. That makes more and more readable, and it is also more beneficial for us. So this is the idea, quick idea. And then once we have sub packages, the next thing we should do is how to import them. And this is how we should import. This is clearly discussed by now. Every one of you should be clear, friends. Maybe you might. I believe you are also testing along with me, right? You are also, I mean, practicing this, right? That is how we should import. That is what we purpose of sub packages, and then how to import it, and how to create alias, and then how to access those members here in the another module, like something like demo, right? That is one thing. This is a regular import, and we had already discussed how to import, how to play with regular import. Now the next thing is how to play with this from import. Already we had a detailed discussion yesterday, but I would like to introduce few more important things about from import. Right, about dot star scenario is there. I would like to introduce that dot star as well, and then we'll wind up this modules topic today. But this is how even we had a discussion, very detailed discussion in the last week session. So from import is something like we already had syntax like from that package or module and import the members. We can choose objects, which objects we should import from this module. The advantage with from import is we can directly choose those modules without having any aliases. That is the advantage, but it's okay. And there are of course few more other uses, but still that is how we should use from import. Now we did this. Now what we can do, we can simply again using this one, how you can access members. Like you can simply say print, can simply choose something like test123.a, something like this. And if you don't want it to access members like this, what you can do, you can see, you can directly import like uh, what you can do. Just a minute. We can say test.star. This won't work on this. Okay. Or otherwise put star, simply star. And then still I believe we have to, I don't think we have access directly. And these are actually, this is, yeah, we see it. Okay, no problem. There is another way. See, if you want to only try to have direct access to objects, you can import your module as well here itself in the package scope or module scope. This is actually a package or module scope here. And then here you can say import all those members. You can see whatever members that is there in inside test 123, like a import a comma b. You can see now you are able to see the members F1. You can choose whatever you want, or otherwise there is an asterisk scenario here. You can see. And then I believe when I say asterisk, all those members are accessible to your package. And here we're trying to print B, and then call F1 directly, and then call F2 directly. And as usual, try to print them. This one we have to print because F2 is returning some results. So here you don't need a fully qualified name to invoke F2 because this is from import, and we applied what did we apply here, friends? This one. So these are two different ways. And now you should be more clear. This is how you should play with from import. So what we did here, we try to invoke this test123 like this. You can see here. And we applied asterisk here. This is something new now this time. We already had a detailed discussion last time. So where is it? Somewhere we have a file. So maybe inside test123. Not this one. I'll show you just a minute. Or otherwise it might be here. Test ABC. Yeah? Not here as well. Text XYZ. Yeah, see here. No, I'm looking for which one? From import. We had discussion. Just now we have seen with at the beginning of our session as well. ABC, BBC, PBF. Not even this. I'm just opening, friends. Please bear with me. Just to show you, that's all. So this is all okay. Just to give a clear difference between regular import and from import, and also this is an important scenario. Sometimes people ask this. We have interview questions from this again. Like sometimes, especially in written exams, if you want to go with written exams, we might face some questions here. Okay. So where is it? Come on, buddy. Yeah. No, we don't have here. We don't have here. This is not needed. Okay, close it. Close it here. Okay, from import is here. This is our file. Just now demo is ours one. Test 1, 2, 3. Not needed. You see, nothing is there. Nothing is there. We have just few files. Somewhere it should be just created. What happened to this? Okay, let's not waste much time. I don't want to. So I'll show you directly if needed. See, we can see here. What is the thing here? One thing is if you, this is a module. From this module, when you are working with from import, we can import those members, all these members, each of these members like this directly, like A, B, and then F1, F2. So this is how we should import members from a package or a module when you're using from import, and you can choose whichever objects you want to import directly like this. You don't need to say like in the case of regular imports, we don't need to say that package or that import path dot that variable name or import path dot function name or class name. We don't need to use that full path of import. That is not needed. Of course, we can have alias. That is a different thing. But still, alias is also representing that full path, right? It is representing this whole path, that TTA, whichever alias we have here, this TTA. This is representing this whole path, right, friends? This is just a minute. So what this is doing, TTA is representing this whole path, right? So, but if you come, if it comes to the from import, you can see here, what is that? We are choosing whichever we want, objects we want here, and we can use them directly without any alias as well. You can see if it is regular import, we must and should use this prefix as alias or that package path. But for this, our module path in case of regular imports. But if you come to the from import, we can just import whichever the module or package we want and choose whatever objects we want to use in our code. And then we can use them like any other local variables here. Right. This looks as if they were local variables, but still they are not local. They are coming from the package. So now just we can print this, right? Save it and then run this. So and then see the output. We have some error. Unexpected syntax error while parsing. Where? Line 18. Maybe here. Why? Maybe we should close one more. Right? Let me close it one more time. Now run this, run demo. Perfect. You can see here. We are getting output, expected output. So we have two sets of output. One set is coming from regular imports. Another set is coming from import. Now there is another catch here with from import. Of course, leave about regular imports for a while. We have already discussed enough of regular imports. There is another important thing about from import. So here, instead of importing each object like this, we can just apply asterisk here. We can choose directly asterisk. When you say asterisk, it means we are trying to import all members of some package or a module here. This is a package, or I mean this is a module. Sorry, test123 is a module. We are importing from this sub package ABC123, and which is again inside another package test123, and which is again inside another package test1. So this is fine. Now we have applied this asterisk. When you applied asterisk, still it is same. Let's run this. Now you can see the output didn't change. But what happened? What happened, friends? But we just we are able to, when you say asterisk, it's something like if you are from Java or if you are from C, C++, we have this header file concept, right? And there, if you want to import any header file like uh, lang dot, so that C header files, lang dot star, something like that we have. So that dot star thing will be there. Java, if it is Java header files, I mean Java packages, we have java.lang.star, java.util.star. Dot star represents everything from that package or everything from that module. That is the meaning of dot star or star otherwise instead of dot star, star. Asterisk represents everything. So when you say import asterisk means everything from this module test123, we are trying to import so that you can use whatever you want from this module test123 without any this thing. We can unconditionally use all the members of test123 in this program, in this module demo 123. This is another, I mean, one more important thing we need to observe here. So we can apply asterisk and import whatever you want from the package or a module. Of course, at the end, everything has to come from module, and modules exist inside package. That is a simple catch. That is fine. But you should ask a question. Which is best one? Using asterisk or choosing specific objects which we want to use in the code? There is a question here. What is that question? The question is this, friends. This is very important. Whenever we have this asterisk, when you are using from import, okay, and you have asterisk and choosing specific objects. I'm just adding here, choosing specific objects. Which is best approach? Which is the recommended one? Can we use this asterisk or choosing specific objects? Which is the recommended approach? Using asterisk or choosing specific objects? Can you please answer in the chat box? Right, please answer in the chat box. I think we are done with the topic or the module scenario because we have covered almost all everything. But my only question is, from import has two different ways to import these objects. One is by applying asterisk, second one by choosing specific objects. Like specific objects, since let us take one more code snippet so that we get a clear to compare it. Here you can see same from import. I can also import members like this as well, like choosing specific objects like A comma B comma F1 comma F2. Of course, it's not like we should import everything from a module. We can choose whatever we want. Suppose I just want A and B, that is enough for me. I don't need this F1 and F2 if I'm removing them. So this is the advantage with from import here. So what is that we can do? We can choose whichever objects we want. This if you are using this kind of import, like import some object 1, object 2, object 3 like that. But this one asterisk means all members are automatically available to your code, and you can, if you want, you can use all those members in the code as if they were local variables, right? As if they were present in your module, right? That is the difference here. I hope you should be very clear. Asterisk means everything from this module, right? And you can use them whichever member you want from this module directly here in the code. And in the second case, we are just choosing which one we want to import and and use in this module. So that is the second style here. Now the question is, I hope this is clear for all of you friends, right? Are you clear on this? Right. So if you are clear, my question is this. What is my question? So which one is best approach? This is a famous interview question. So this is the one. From import using asterisk or choosing specific objects. Which is the best approach? I'm just adding here itself in the code. So the question is, which is the best approach? Can you please answer in the chat box? So not sure. Very nice. Perfect. Correct. By specific objects. Always it is always a good or recommended approaches using specific objects, not asterisk. Right. This is actually not encouraged. Which one? Using asterisk is not encouraged. This is discouraged. The exact word we can put here is using asterisk is discouraged. Not only here, even in other languages like Java. Maybe because we have implemented Java as well. So always using a fully qualified name is recommended, not with dot stars. Dot stars at some point becomes overhead to the your interpreter or JVM. Here we are using interpreter. There is no such thing like JVM in Python, but I'm talking about Java. But anyhow, I see most of you answered it correct. Thanks for that, because using specific objects is the answer, and you are absolutely correct with that. So choosing specific objects is the recommended approach, not with asterisk. Of course, if you are asking question like Manoram, I want to use asterisk. Is there really a problem? See, I don't have a problem, but that is not recommended. I hope you are clear now. So this is the quick idea, friends, about your modules and imports, types of imports from import, and regular import from import, and how to import a package and module, how to import sub packages, and then again, yeah, again doing same thing with from import, how to import, how to do imports at module level, at package level, sub package level, and again we had discussed like how to import, right, how to play with this. This is another important use cases, because if you go to some exams, people ask these questions. Okay, definitely you might face so many questions here. If you are clear with all this, definitely you can answer them very well. With a little bit of, again, of course, you can go and explore a little bit more on this. But this is the idea. Hope you are clear with this, friends. So this is all about what we say, friends, about modules. This is enough. If you want to really work with any project, whatever we had discussed in the last week and this week is more than enough to start working with any real-time project, not just only here at learning level. Are we good now? Shall we jump to the next topic? So what is that? Let us start files topic. Okay, that would be good for us. Let us take up files and see how to create different files, all that. Okay. That's all, friends, about this one, about modules. If you have any questions, you can ask me even now or at the end of the session, whenever you want. If you have any confusion or anything, we can discuss, no problem. Now after this, of course, you can also do the same for even built-in this thing as well. Built-in modules, what we call, or built-in packages. Okay. So that's all about it. Let's jump to the next topic, files topic, which is also very important in Python. Especially, we definitely play with lot of files, because when we run some automations, we have to preserve that. I mean, we have to capture all that results and put it into some Excel sheets, and then we try to store it into some SharePoints or some local folders, all that. But if you want to do that, definitely files are needed. And we generally use more of CSVs or Excels to store into our machines to capture all that results what we are processing as DevOps team. Okay, just giving you an idea because we need automation in multiple ways. So, and I'm just giving you the importance of how we use files in our project. I'm not revealing anything that is out of policy, but something that is what you need to learn. That's all, friends. So let me just close this before I move to the next topic. Next topic, I just want to just ask a quick question. Are you okay? Are you clear on this, friends? Can you please answer in the chat box if you understood this modules clearly? I mean, modules are packages and different types of imports. Are you clear on this? Please answer in the chat box. Then let's move to the next topic. We'll conclude this here. I know maybe we'll try to do some more. I mean, some small projects and apply all this so that uh, it's more useful for you. Definitely, I'll plan some workshops on this. Okay, let's move to the other important topic, files. Not sure if files is there in this document. This is seems like we don't have files in this. So keep this as is. So what I do is let me open this Python files. Okay. Python underscore material. Just a minute, friends. I am opening the document, whichever is needed for our files discussion. Of course, we can do without the document, but it will be more organized if we have some detailed steps so that we don't have any this thing. So let's start with files topic now, up or down or something. What happened to this? Otherwise, all right. Let me just open it. There's nothing like this. Okay, I think it's there here in cell. File operations, you can see here. I believe we have here. Yeah, we have all this. Let us have a quick idea about files here, okay? And different types of files, what we have. All that we can discuss here. But we don't use much of this, but having knowledge is always useful to us, okay? Generally, mostly we use this, writing data to Excel sheets, all that. So that is how we try to use files there. Now let's start this. Files. This is the next topic we are going to discuss today and tomorrow. Maybe if possible, we'll try to complete it. Else, we will just have one more session on files. But this is very important, no doubt about it, because one is file operation. That is one of the most used concept in Python. That is one thing. Second thing is using database connectivity. Somewhere we have to store our results. After doing all this kind of processing, we have to preserve or store our results somewhere. Either we have to store it in database or otherwise we have to store it in some files. Excuse me. So this is a quite common practice. It's not like something where what we do some very rarely. Storing into files is a common practice. Connect and storing results into database is a common practice. We do both. If you ask me a question, what are you doing, Manoram? We do both actually because we try to process huge data and then once that is filtered, we get some reports. And those reports we try to save it to Excel. That is one thing. And the same Excel we try to again try to store it and dump into, maybe the exact word I want to use here is dump into databases. Okay, why if you ask me, because we need this data for later use. If you ask me a question, why are you dumping that data into databases, or why are you preserving it into files? If you are asking these questions, we so at some point of time again we need that data to do some to implement some stats or something, right? To show that results because we are DevOps team, we work more on infra side. So we need to know like how much data is being stored regularly, and we need to keep track of all that data. Like the database sizes, we have multiple environments, and what we should see is we should keep track of that data. Like because different teams, the development teams will be using all that. Okay, I'm just giving you a high level idea, and again, I am not violating my policy as well. At the same time, no, you understand, right? Because I'm sticking to my basics, like so we have multiple environments, right? Environments means when you are working not only as a DevOps engineer, as a developer, as a tester, automation tester, or tester, whomever it is, you need to play with multiple environments like dev or QA or UAT or okay, prod or pre-prod, or there are many things. So our area of this thing is, we are actually handling all databases, and then related to that, we do some infra related thing like, adding more servers or removing servers and changing servers. We do so many things. Okay, that is fine. I'm just giving you nature of work. And over a period, this database size keeps growing. We have to keep that size intact. So what we do is we try to run this scripts and make sure what is the size. I mean, what is the kind of occupancy these databases are having, and we try to create reports so that we do regular cleanups on that databases. So for all this, what is that? Once we run the scripts, all that database, the size of all these different databases, we try to extract that and we try to put it into Excel. So this is how files are important. Right, I'm just giving you a quick useful scenario or a real scenario how files can be used. This is only one area. Likewise, we use it in different ways. Okay, it's not like just like this. But finally, the importance of files is somewhere we need to capture our results and preserve it. And we have two different ways here. Either one is storing into the database, second one preserving into the files. That is up to us, like depends. But database thing is a different thing. We'll talk later. But coming to the file, this is one area where we can still preserve our results or try to have important data and then keep it ready for future purpose. So that is an idea, quick idea. Now coming to the point, what are different types of files we have in not only in Python, different files we have in a programming world or in a real world. Right, the purpose of files now you should be very clear. Files are used to store data. Right, data permanently in some local this thing, or maybe if you want you can push those files to some database as well. It's up to you. So that is a different thing. But now coming to the point about types of files. All this, if you see here, already you are seeing them. It is in front of your eyes. All these are different types of files. Text files, binary files. Generally, we can categorize files into two types. What are those two types? Text files and binary files. Text files means all these are text files, that .txt, .csv, .xls are, I mean XLSX, these are Excels. I mean JSON, XML, .html, .xlsm, all these are text files, right? And binary files means something like JPG, MPG, MP4, all your audio and video files. We can consider them as binary files. In this way, we can categorize files into two types, text and binary here. But most of the time we play with this data, but rarely we try to get to play with this binary files. But if you ask me again, because from my line of work, we don't generally deal with much of binary data. Our line of work focus more on text data. I hope you are clear on that. Clear, friends? That is a quick idea, but we don't need to again stress more on this type of files. These are general things where you can just Google it and get it. Understanding like how we use them is important for us. So this is a quick idea. Let's move to the next one. And these are all different file formats we have here. We have two types of file formats in Python. Text file and binary, we had already discussed that. Okay, all this .txt, .csv, .tsv, these are all different text file formats. And binary in sense like JPG, PNG, MP3, MP4, all these are binary file formats. Okay, so let's start with text files now. So maybe over the period we'll discuss about binary files as well. We'll see all that one by one. Maybe tomorrow I bring up with more some useful and little more deeper use cases for you once we have this introduction, so that you can also have some idea. I hope you are clear on that, friends. Okay. So now, and also we'll apply a little bit of our learnings from the beginning, how to dump data from file and how to do some math. I mean, some manipulation on that data, how to apply collections on that file data. All that we discuss. Maybe I'll create one or two use cases on that. That also gives you an idea how to play with data that were there in the files, how to load from file, how to create collections, and then how to play with those collections, how to implement some logic and then get that output from there, all that. So that we do tomorrow. But for today, what we do, we talk about this. Okay, about this file formats and how to play with files. This is simple thing. See, I believe there is nothing difficult if you ask me. But again, nothing is simple. What is important is the curiosity. Always, if you are real curious, I don't think we have a problem of anything. That is a quick tip for everyone, including to me also. It's not just only for as an audience, it's our listeners to you or to anyone. It's for everyone. So let's start with this now. Okay, we'll come to that point again. Text file formats. Let's see this. See, to play with text files, we have all these methods. See, simple, friends. A file is something we see. All these are files. See this. Whatever you see in your machine, it's not my machine. All files. This PPTs, this text one, this. All these are files, right? This Excels, this PDFs. Everything is a file. And you can even play with those files as well. It's not like you just create something really a special file. It's not needed. But as we are learning, just we just get that idea. Later on, if you want, we can use the existing one as well. So what does text file means, right? Something which has extension .txt. All such files are text files. I hope you are clear, right? So and especially when you come to the programming, when you are dealing files in a programmatic way, we have certain methods. We just need to understand those methods, how to play with those files. Suppose you have some abc.txt file. Point is simple. One is there are different ways. So like, how to create file, how to open file, how to read file. So these are regular things like how you do with your books in your home. Like how to open a file, how to read a file, how to write into a file, how to close a file. These are regular operations we do on any different files in any language. But the method name might slightly change here and there. But these are the basic operations what we do on any files. A file is already created. If it is not created, we can create and open. Or if it is already created, then we can open it directly. Then read it and do some processing and close it. Or if you want to write some results to the file, then write it and then close the file. So these are all basic operations what we perform on files. Right, in Python is again much more simpler, right, than other languages. We can see. So these are all methods to implement file handling. Whatever we are seeing here, these are the methods to implement file handling. What is it, friends? Open. This is how we. So one method to play with files is. So I hope before I jump to these methods, I believe you are clear on what we discussed so far, right, friends, about types of files, and then we didn't start anything here, but just giving you a quick idea. If you want to play with files, these are important methods. Usually we have anywhere in any language: opening, reading, writing, closing, sometimes creating files. That is also there. Right now, these are the methods. First thing, open method. So these are methods of files open. And this is how we open a file in Python. And then assign to some variable so that this variable holds the object of that. Even file is also an object, simply speaking. It is an object sits somewhere in the local machine. That's all, friends. That is file. Right? How to open means simple. See, right? So we'll start with methods of file handling. So let's start with first method, that is open. So how do you open a file? Again, if you ask me what is a file means, files are nothing but what we see regularly. We are not new to files. Even if we are programmers or not, we see files regularly in our machines. So first thing is generally opening file. We use this method open, and then to that we should pass file name and then the mode. That's all. Mode in sense there are different file modes like read mode, write mode, append mode. There are different modes actually. Okay, I'll show you all that in detail. Nothing like if you want to be more clear, I'll just show you modes as well. Where is it? So where I put modes, no problem. Otherwise, you can see here. If not there here, file modes. Let me just show you in Python. I hope you are clear on this, right, friends? I think you are clear on this. What we call first one. This we are talking about open method. And when you are working with open methods, we need, so this is the syntax, file name and mode. I'm talking about mode. Suppose what open method does is open a file in some mode. Mode means it opens a file in mode is this. I'll show you again, of course. We'll just go to some website and see in detail. Mode means you are opening a file, but opening file in which mode? Are you opening it to read? Are you opening it to write? Are you opening it to append? Append means already you have a data, you want to add something to that. That is called append mode. Are you opening it to read and write? So another one more mode. Are you opening it to write and read? Right? Like this. So there are different modes. Hope you are clear, friends. So many more. I'm just giving you a quick idea, like a quick high level idea. This is called mode. Mode represents what? So for what kind of operation you are opening a file. And that is what we call mode, friends. I hope you are clear. Understood? Right. Okay, let's see here. Let's just Google it. File modes in Python. That's let's see. We can choose any of our. I don't know what is this iHunts. Let's see here. You can choose. See, these are all file modes. Let's see. This guy is saying, don't confuse. Read about every mode below. See, my pick this thing to you is don't read everything. Just, we don't play with everything here. See here, read, R represents read. R plus means what? For both reading and writing. W represents write. W plus for both writing and reading. And RB, this is generally applied for binary files, read binary. RB plus read and write binaries. WB plus write and read binary files. Okay, A represents append, AB represents again append binaries. A plus represents append and read, you can see here. AB plus represents append binaries and read binaries, both. X means open and exclusive creation. So means if you just use X means if already file exists, it won't open. Otherwise, it creates a new file. I mean, exclusive creation means to create exclusively to create a new file. And they give a tabular this thing here. Mostly we play with this single digit, this unique letters here, like unique modes like R, W, X, A, B, something like this. Rarely we apply R plus W plus all that. So it depends on our need and necessity, of course. But these are all different modes what we have in Python, friends. Maybe I would like to just quickly show you. So mode in sense like for which operation you are opening file. Like are you opening for reading or writing or appending or all this. That represents mode, the mode of operation. I hope you are clear with this, friends, right? So I'm jumping to our this thing. But this is so simple, right? We'll see. If you do one or two programs, you might think that there is nothing in files. That's how it would be. Where is our where did this go? Did I miss again? No problem. File space operations. Sorry, it's in data. See here, you can see. So here we don't have RW, but we have R plus or something like W plus these things like this. Okay. But if you ask me, we don't use all this, friends. This R plus W plus all that, and just an idea. And this it doesn't mean that we shouldn't use. If needed, we can apply. That's it. But working with them is simple. Once you know how we can use them. So we can just try to use them in the code. That's all. So this is about open. So what all this here? Open is a method. It takes more parameters. It's not just only just two, but two are important here. One is file name. Even I don't think you need to pass mode as well. Not needed every time to pass mode. I hope you are clear. Right? By default, a file opens in write mode. If you ask me, if you don't use mode, another important point to remember. A file is by default opens in write mode. Which mode, friends? Write mode. Keep in mind. Point to remember. Okay, we will show all that one by one. But in this syntax, there are three different parameters. One, this is your reference. By now, you should be clear. This is a reference which holds file object when you open it. And then this is file name which you want to pass any kind of file dot txt dot csv or excel or whatever you want. And the mode in sense what kind of operation you want to do, like read operation, write operation, append operation. What you want to do that you should pass. This is the whole idea about all these three parameters. Right, friends? So if you want, I can just add clearly here. What is var name? This is a reference to file object. I'm just making more sure you understand it clearly in deep. Okay, reference to a file object. Even files are objects. If you ask me, they are also objects. Next one, file name, like you what file you want to open, because we are doing open operation. What file you want to open? right? That either .txt or .csv, whichever you want to open, that you should pass. We'll do a few examples. By maybe in this session itself, if possible, we'll try to do that. Or .xlsx or whatever you want. Okay. And mode represents with what mode represents whether you are doing read or write or append or something like this. I hope you are clear on this. This is the quick idea. And this is the example you can see. Suppose you want to open a file, some text file. So here you can see while opening file, you have to use two different things again. Absolute path or relative path. You should choose that. Where you want to place that open and store that. Or from which path you want to open a file. If you are opening existing file, you should provide full path or absolute path. Again remember this while working with files. Again, these are important. Path of file is important. Path of file is important. How this is important? Again, we have two types of paths here. Remember all this very clearly, friends. This is very important. Two types of paths are important, like how we discussed in modules just sometime back in modules. We were talking about that importing module or package, and we had a discussion. We need absolute path or full path of module or package. Even when you work with files, this paths are important. Okay, we have two types of paths anyway, absolute path and sorry, there is a typo. Absolute path and second one is relative path. We will talk about both. I'll show you with practical examples what is absolute path, what is relative path. While opening file, you have to choose path, and that path can be an absolute path or a relative path. Absolute path means the full path. Suppose there are different drives. You have C drive, D drive, E drive, something like this. Suppose you want to place your file in E drive. Absolute path is some E drive. Again, in that you want to have some folder. Something like we are working with Python, right? I want to have all my files in some Python folder, then slash. And that file name, something like abc dot, that if it is a text file like this. This is absolute path, means the full path, the whole path, what we are passing to that method or function path. Means even though you are executing your program from some D drive or C drive, still your file will go and sit in the E drive. It is created in E drive if you want to create it in E drive. Or else, suppose you want to open a file from some X drive. X in sense, it might be A, B, or C, or E, or D drive, whatever it is. If it is, usually we don't have A, B drives. I'm just saying for namesake. Usually it starts from C or D or E. So if you want to open a file is from specific drive, then you have to choose that drive. Suppose the file is in D drive, change it to D. And it is in some folder, just mention that folder. Again, some subfolder, mention that. Again, that file. That full path, whatever, wherever that file is. So that is called absolute path. I hope you understood this, friends. What is it? The full path of file, wherever it is, that's called absolute path. Hope you are clear. Relative in sense, suppose you don't apply all this, then nothing happens. If you are using relative path, nothing happens. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's keep it as is. You don't provide full path, just that file name. And maybe if you ask me, do we have a problem here? Problem in sense, it depends. But if you try to create or open something like this, then this file has to be, this file exists in the same path as your program. Suppose you have saved your program in D drive in some Python folder. Even this file has to be present in the same folder. I will show you all these use cases. I'll show you with the examples so that you get a clear idea. But I'm giving you a heads up about while working with files, how to play with paths, what is absolute path, what is relative. And when you have this absolute path, how it look like, how a relative path, how it look like. I am trying to give you a clear, a deeper this thing on this paths as well. It's not just about file, it's about understanding all this is important, friends. Okay, so fine. Relative is this, friends. You don't choose that full path, just that file name alone. Then this suppose you are creating this file, this automatically this is created in same folder where this program exists. That's all. Suppose you store the your file program in D drive, some Python folder, it will be stored there only. I'll show you. If I talk like this, you don't understand. It will be little confusing as well. But simply speaking, relative means this file has to be in the same path as your program, or this files has to be right. This will be created in the same path as where your program is stored. Suppose like this, you see. You created your Python program here, friends. Let me just show you somewhere. I think you should have a Python folder somewhere. Just want to show you. Okay, let us see. Assume that you have a Python program here. In the and you are suppose you want to create a new file and you are providing a relative path. I'll show you. You are providing a relative path. Where is it? This guy. Then automatically this file also will exist in the same path as your program. Relative path means where your file has to be placed in the same path as your program to open it or to create it. If it is creation, that file will be created in the same path as your program. And if it is opening, again the file has to be in the same path as your program. Otherwise, it will throw error. If you don't understand the statement, we will see with programs, practical programs. I'll bring back this statement again and we'll discuss. Nothing like you need to understand. Even if you don't understand, ignore for now. I will show you all this with examples. Maybe if possible today, if you have time, else tomorrow. I'll make sure you understand everything, every statement we made here. Okay, so no, nothing like you don't need to worry anything. Just have a quick idea. Absolute is something where we need full path and we can place files or open files from anywhere in your machine. Relative is something where your file has to be in the same path as your program, right? Either for opening or for creating. If you create, it will be in the same path as your program. If you open it, it has to be placed in the same path as your program. That is relative. And still, if you don't understand, no problem. I told you, we had discussed, right? We will come up with a detailed use cases so that you understand everything in detail. Nothing like you can ignore for now. If you don't understand, if you confused or anything, just remember these are two parts we have. That's all. Oh, we are done with that now. Now, how to open a simple file, right? So we can open file for different purposes. We can open a file in read mode, write mode, append mode, all that, right? Or else we can open a file by creating it and then adding something to that. Suppose if file don't exist, it will be created and I will do all that one by one. Okay. So this is step, but remember this is how we open files, right? Now, this is one thing. The syntax is if you want to open any file, then we have to use this open method and then pass that file name whichever you want to open and then mode of that. Okay, that is simple idea. That is the one. Okay, next one. And how to read means you apply read methods here, right? This is how. So before once you get some idea, like we'll do one thing. We'll just create one quick step. Okay, to open file. Let's create a new folder for all this instead of. We'll do one thing. Quick test. We'll do a quick test just to show you what we do. Right click new. Where all where is our other things? I am not sure. No problem. We can search later. Creating a directory and just giving it a file name as file handling. Now create a simple file, new Python file, file test.py. Okay. Let's open a simple file. Don't give anything here. Something like this here itself you understand now. I'm giving a full path. Something like this one. Let's create a file here. Okay. In this path. This EEE drive Python free sessions. Okay, let's create here. Okay. So this is my path where I want to store my file. Okay. This one, I don't think, yeah. Here, when you are passing path, make sure you put double slash. That is also important, friends. Don't put single slash. Single slash will give an error. If you put it like this, maybe you don't see error, but when you run, it might fall in error. Okay. So just remember. But anyhow, using double slash within this double quotes is always important because when you pass double slash, it will take only a single slash. Remember. So double slash when you add double slash in double quotes or single quotes, it just accepts it as a single slash only. Remember. Okay. Now we opened a file. I'm not doing anything. Just want to show you something like nothing is there in this. If you see, this path doesn't have anything. Remember, right? This path don't have anything. Now let's run it quickly. What happens? Let's see it. I'm not doing anything. Just close it. Once you open file, don't do anything in this. Just open it with some full path. This is absolute path. But actually this file is in somewhere. Let me just show you. Where is this? It is pointing to some this I mean this ID is created somewhere. You can see here it is in C user drives. This is actually the current path of your PyCharm. So it's in C drives. So this is the path of PyCharm. But by default, if I try to just give some file name, then if I just give a file name like this, suppose abc.txt, what it does is it tries to create this file in the current path. Current path is I just showed you, right? See here, the current path is let me just show you. Where is it? Just now I opened. Yeah, file. You can see here, save as. Come on. Has to open. Just now it opened, right? If you go to file and then if you say save as, yeah, it has to open now. Else if it is not opening, you can still see here on top. Let me just drag this. This is the current path of your PyCharm, your project. Now your file handling is there inside this project. Sorry, your file program is there in file handling folder. Now, when you run this, what happens? This is actually the relative path. Then it just creates this file is created in the same path as your program. Your program file test is under file handling. This is in your project Python project, and this is there in Python PyCharm projects and in C user admin. Simply speaking, this file is in C drive, and this when you run it, let's run it just for testing purpose. No such file or directory. We are trying to open it directly, right? So just a minute. We just need to create it. Generally, we don't create much files. If you are just wondering why Manoram is searching, generally we always use existing ones. So quickly checking for that method. So most of the time, what we do is, uh, yeah, we can see here. We can just a minute. guy is just opening read, right? Yeah, you have to use this one X. Okay, if you put X there, it will create it. That's all. That you can see here. That's all. Just use the mode X to exclusively create a file. And W means write mode. If you open a file in these two are important, friends. Just add it. Maybe let's add it. Maybe you might be wondering why I'm laughing is so why Manoram is searching, he's using files regularly, right? Because most of the time we use existing ones. We don't try to create files. Only what we try to do, we try to default run the, this thing automation and then try to store it into the, yeah, while storing, mostly we open that in write mode. That's why. And by default, actually, if you don't use any mode, my understanding is it has to open file in write and it has to save. But some reason it's not working. But it's fine, no problem. So what is that we should now we understood, right? What you have to do. So for opening file, you can just choose these two approaches. Now we are very clear. Got it right? So either if you want to create a new file, choose X or choose W. It's up to you. W, when you choose W, maybe again you can ask me a question. You are opening file in write mode, right, Manoram? Right in sense, see, if you use W, if that file doesn't exist, it will create that file and write it. Else, if it is already there, it will open and then write it. That is the what W mode do. But if you want to exclusively create, apply X. Again, this is very important. Sometimes you might see these questions in some exams. I don't think people ask in interviews, but it's in some kind of written exams. Like if you are doing some certifications, these are important. Okay, just to have an idea. Now what we do? Shall we open this file in W mode then? See, let's apply both. You can see now. Let's run this quickly. Now this time file created, and this is what I am saying. Where this file is created now, friends? It is created in the same path as your program. You can see here. This is relative path because I didn't provide anything like the drive or the folder or anywhere where this file should be saved. And automatically this file is saved in the same path as your program. You can see now that abc.txt is created under this file handling folder. Why file handling folder? Because your program is in the same folder file handling. Even your file is placed in the same folder because this is the relative path we are using. Relative in sense, it's something where your program is, your file is created in the same place. That is what we call relative. Now immediately, some of you from the session, right? You might ask a question. What is it? I think someone opened your camera. I suggest maybe if you, I don't have a problem, but suggest please close your camera. Okay, because I upload this to YouTube, right? Everyone can have a view of it. I'll try to trim this as I have observed that. Okay, right, friends. Again, I don't have a problem. Only thing is, as we are making it public, so that's why I'm just only giving you a caution. Fine, let's get to our discussion. I think we are going on this. What is it? This is relative path, friends. Got it right? We'll talk more on this tomorrow, but just giving a quick idea. Now, someone from our session might ask a question. What is it? So question is simple. Manoram, I don't want this file here. I want to place it in some specific location. Then what should we do? Suppose assume that. So now this is we are using a relative path here. What is that? This path we are using file to open or create is relative, right? And I have clearly explained what is relative. I think I'm using that Java comment. This is Python comment. Okay, that right? Multi-line comment triple quotes are this one single line comment hash. You remember that. So then what we do? I want a full path, absolute path. I want my file to be placed here. Then what I do? I will pass my path here and then slash double slash, because if you put single slash, it might throw error. I'll show you that as well. Okay. Now I'm just opening file and I'm just trying to create file and place it. That's all in some location. I'm not doing anything for now. For that, to do all that, we use open function. Open is used to create a new file or open a file that is already existing. Right. Open can be used in both ways, either for creating a new file or to open existing file. If file don't exist, we can use open to create. If file already exists, we can use open to open it. We can use in both ways. So this is fine for us. Okay, this is full path. Maybe once you open file, always it's a good habit to close it. To close file, it's a very simple thing. Just apply close on this file. How? We have access to file through this reference. So on that reference, just apply close. Then automatically file gets closed. You don't need to do anything. So to open file, we use open method. To close file, we use close method. That's our friends. So what we do right now? Let's run this automation. Sorry, let's run this code. We are not doing anything. Again, if you ask me, we are not doing anything on files as of now, just creating and understanding relative path and absolute path. That's all. And how to open, how to close. That's all. We are not doing anything here. Just remember, friends, just understanding each method to handle files. Like now, for now, we just understood two methods, open and close. That's all. Now I ran this code. Right. Again, you can see, right, when I ran for second time, this X guy, this mode X, X absolutely creating a file. It is throwing error because it's a file exists error. Because if you put def X here, it won't try to create again a file that is there. Right. If you want to override file, then you have to choose W. We'll talk about it again. But for now, have a clear idea. So this is the error you see if you are opening a file in X mode. X is for exclusively creating a file. Once a file is created, it won't allow you to create again one more time. If already that file exists, it will throw an error saying this one. You can see here. Right. This is important. These are all useful things. Again, for some kind of certification exams. Right. Not for even for regular interviews, because I don't think people ask these questions. But still useful. Even sometimes in interviews, this comes handy if someone asks you questions. You got it right. This is how you see an error if you try to create again already existing file, especially if you go with X. If you go with W, you don't see all that. But I don't think people use X for creating files exclusively. Most of the time, people prefer W while working with files. Okay, so that's it, friends. Okay, this is fine. Now let's run this. Already we ran it. Let's go and see in the E drive. Python free sessions in this folder. You can see that file is already created here, abc.txt. See here, nothing will be there. You don't have anything because we didn't add any data. We do that. That is what we are going to do in tomorrow's session. But giving you a clear picture about again, our focus is on what, friends? Our focus is on this one. What is it? Absolute and relative path. Right. Our focus is on absolute and relative path. By now, I'm very sure every one of us in the session should have a clear picture about it. Right, friends? Can I get an S from all of you on this? Okay. So this is about for today. What we do? We catch again tomorrow and we try to cover as many scenarios as possible with files. We'll go a little deeper. I'll come up with more what is that useful use cases for file handling. I'll add some little complex use cases so that it might be helpful for you while working in your projects as well. Have a good Saturday. We'll catch up tomorrow again. Okay, same time mostly. Hope this is clear today. I think as far as I see how it has happened, it's a good session.